Thank you for joining us to celebrate something new, something different, and I'd like to turn it over to our board president, who would like to give you his thoughts.
My thoughts. Well, okay, so my name is Gary Buchholz. I'm the president of the Arts Council, and I'd just like to welcome everybody here today at our new venue. It looks like everything's turning out great. Have a lot of happy vendors, a lot of happy buyers, I hope. And with that, I'm just going to turn over to our community liaison, Jackie Billings.
Hi. Oh no, I'm good. I got it. I can tiptoe too.
Take a picture.
So happy to be representing the community today. When the Arts Council asked the Village of Perry Board if we'd be open to being considered as a venue for the Letchworth Arts and Crafts Show, since they weren't able to do it where they've always done it, we said yes, of course, because that's what Perry does. Perry says yes. As soon as they made it official, I was like, oh boy. And I knew that we needed partners to pull this off. And so it was a natural fit to invite the Perry Fire Department and the Perry Rotary Club to join forces with the Arts Council for Wyoming County and the Village of Perry to put our heads together and pull this off on a short timeline. About 20 or so leaders from those organizations have met 2 to 5 times a week for about 4 months to get us to this point. There's about 300 or more volunteers here today and this weekend making this whole thing happen. And so I really hope you guys are happy. I hope your vendors are happy. I hope your customers are happy. I hope our neighbors are happy. And I know that the whole county-wide community will benefit from this arrangement. So thank you.
Woo! Okay, next up we have Scott Gardner with the Wyoming County Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Gary. I think from the community point of view, Jackie captured it perfectly. So we're actually here to celebrate a special occasion, which is unfortunately it didn't happen last year because of COVID, but we got to do it nevertheless, the 45th anniversary of the Letchworth Arts and Crafts Show and Sale. And so we're very excited to be here to congratulate the Arts Council and of course the entire community, able to put this together here at the Perry Village Park, but congratulate the Arts Council on 45 years of a tremendous event that has brought so much to Wyoming County. And so I want to present you, Gary, one of you, someone, with a certificate that commemorates that, and then in a few minutes we'll do a ribbon cutting to open and celebrate this great anniversary. So thank you.
So sitting to my left is a very, very special person. Gilly Burlingham was one of the original founders of the Letchworth Arts and Crafts Show and Sale. And so we thought it would be so lovely if she had the opportunity to do us the honor of doing the ribbon cutting for this special occasion. And I'm sure she has a few thoughts she would like to share as well.
When I think of when Judy, Tyler, and I started the show, we never dreamed it would become so big and so wonderful. And I have to thank all the people who do all the hard work that puts this show together. I'm just thrilled to be here and happy to cut the ribbon wherever it is. Thank you.
Ready to go? We'll do it.
Oh my gosh. I like to tell people I'm 95 years old. It gets harder to do things.
Oh, that's okay. That's great. Do you need a hand with this? Gary, do you want a hand with this? Do you want a hand with this? Actually,
Sarah, get back here. Here's a picture. We saw you trying to run away. Get in there, Joe. Get in there.
Josh, you're a board member. He's standing his ground. Not moving. No. Hold on 1 second.
Wait.
Don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Okay, everybody look at me first. All right. Smile. We're going to do this quick.
Upside down?
Nothing's upside down. Okay, I'm going to count to 3.
All right.
Josh got one.
We were going to go back the way we came. We're here. We're going to go back the way we came and go that way. We want to go there and turn.
Gary has to hang on.
There we go. Okay, with that ribbon cutting and everything, I'd like to welcome everybody to the 45th rendition of the Arts Council for Wyoming County Arts and Crafts Show and Sale, and it is now officially open. Go and buy and enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
You've just seen footage from the Letchworth Arts and Crafts Show. This was the ribbon cutting. And here to talk about this year's Letchworth Arts and Crafts Show and its new venue is the Executive Director of the Arts Council for Wyoming County, Jackie Swaby. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me, and I just want to apologize to our viewers that I feel like I'm dressed as if I was at the festival.
You've just come in from the cold.
So I guess it's appropriate to
Yes.
look the part.
Yes, it looks fine. What edition show is this? What year?
So we celebrated our 45th anniversary, that should have happened last year. What was always neat was that the Arts Festival and the Arts Council, the organization, experienced an anniversary simultaneously. But of course, as a result of COVID, we had to cancel the event last year. Hence, we missed a year, and now we are. The organization is a year ahead of the Letchworth Arts and Crafts Show and Sale.
Who were some of the people that participated in the ribbon cutting?
So we had, first of all, we had Larry Hoyt, who usually kind of sets the stage and the tone for the opening of the event to be declared officially open each year. He's been doing that for 14 years, and so he played the bagpipes to kind of get everyone corralled into that specific space that you saw. And then our board president made some comments, Gary Buchholz. We had the president of the Wyoming County Chamber of Commerce and the tourism director, Eric Zusch. They helped to facilitate the ribbon cutting of our 45th anniversary. And their staff, who is she's the coordinator for all of the member services for the Chamber of Commerce. She helped to take some of the photos for the event. The person who actually did the ribbon cutting, her name is
Gilly Burlingham.
Gilly Burlingham. She actually was one of the people who was instrumental in helping the Arts Council experience its rebirth. She, along with Susan Van Arsdale and Judy Tyler, or Tom Rowski, those are some of the people who helped to start the give the Arts Council its rebirth. Many people are not aware that the Arts Council actually was started in the 60s. First started in, had a brief home in Attica. Then it was moved to Warsaw, where it also had a brief home there. And then things folded, or I don't want to use the word fell apart, but it had its rebirth in 1975. And after trying to different venues and finding a place to be its permanent home, it's where we are at 31 South Main Street in Perry became its home, and we've been there. I think since the early 90s.
Yes. So the Letchworth Arts and Crafts Show is as old as the Arts Council
Correct.
in current mode.
Yes.
Its venue has always been in Letchworth State Park.
That is correct.
Why was it moved this year?
So,
And where was it moved to?
So last year, most of you know that the event was canceled as a result of COVID, and so we as an organization felt that it was we did not have the capacity to sustain another year without this festival.
It's a major source of income.
It is our largest source of income. So we had been in conversations and meetings with the Letchworth State Park administration until about May, when it was determined by the State Park administration that they really did not have the capacity or the infrastructure to facilitate the show in its present form. It had grown significantly, and their staff capacity had not increased, and also the physical infrastructure of the park had taken a toll as a result of the event, and so it was disappointing for us, but we totally understand where they're coming from as the protector of this beautiful green space. I want to make it very, very clear that this was not a falling out with the Arts Council and the park. The Letchworth Park has presented this event with us in partnership for the 43 years that it was held. We had a beautiful relationship with the park administration and the park workers. So it was not a very easy decision for the park to make and for us to sustain, but we totally understand where they were coming from, but we had to make a decision to move forward. Hence, and through all of this, we kept our artisans involved in the decision making, because without the artisans, we have no event. And so one of the surveys that we conducted was the idea of looking at possible other venues. And after receiving the responses from the artisans and us as a board looking at pros and cons, Perry came out as being the best fit. Some of the reasons that helped to determine that best fit included the fact that Perry Village is 3 miles from the Perry entrance of the park. So we saw that as a way for people to still experience or make that whole day an experience with shopping and experience in the park as well. So they could do that. Perry brought an infrastructure that could facilitate our event, and we also had the infrastructure in the partnership of the Perry Firemen and the Perry Rotary. And they came 100% alongside us with just as much passion and conviction to make this the most the best possible show that we could have under the circumstances, and to make it as successful as possible.
How did the vendors fare this year? Did they meet with success in the new venue?
So some of the artisans, we also surveyed the artisans at the event.
Yeah.
And I did a sampling of the survey that we conducted, and this was a sampling of 50 artisans, and a few did not provide their sales, but outside of that number, they leveraged, and this was of course gross, about 143,000 in sales for the sampling of the 50 artisans that we did. I would say of the 50 that we sampled, 42 said they loved the event and they would participate if it was held at that event again. So those are good benchmarks for us to determine that they did well, and they were happy with how they did.
How are vendors, artisans selected? Is it a juried show?
So our show is a juried show. We put together an independent jury once all of the images and applications are received. And there's a rubric, of course, that's used to determine
An artisan
that.
sends in an application and sample photographs of their work?
Correct, yes. And this is all done digitally. Even if it's sent in the mail, they're sent in with a flash drive with their application. And so that helps to determine who makes it into the show, because we're really committed to providing the best quality to our shoppers. However, we are also very mindful that we want to take into consideration that not everyone's pocketbook is on the same level. So we want to make sure that there are different levels of artisans that are represented, so everyone feels that they can come and experience a lovely day, whether it's a high-end item or middle of the road or low-end item. There is something for everyone to purchase. And of course, the food vendors add a huge piece to rounding out that experience for the artisans. But yes, indeed, we conduct a jury to determine who makes it into the show.
Do you have any estimates on attendance of shoppers?
So we don't have an official number because we were hoping to base more of it on a large portion of our attendees parking in the parking lots, but there were shoppers who parked in different places and walked in. There were shoppers who even parked in the parking lots, but they walked. So the bracelet system that we the firemen and Rotary put in place was not 100% proof validation of the exact numbers that attend. So at our roundup meeting, we are guesstimating that there was probably upwards of 20,000 over the 3 days.
Is that a good number?
We were very happy with that number, and it actually kept us in line with the permit that we applied for at the county level. So we were happy with that.
Do you have any, we're running out of time. I want to thank you for coming in. And we've enjoyed looking at the footage of the Arts and Crafts Show.
Thank you.
Is there any takeaway you want to share with us about the event this year?
Well, I've had the opportunity to make a comment like this at one other venue, and I'm going to repeat it, that if anyone from the public gets a chance to read my message in the Winter 22 newsletter that was just mailed out to our members, and there are also available at our gallery and a few other places around the county. I talk about the concept of indeed it takes a village, because truly what we experienced this year with the Arts and Crafts Show and sale, first of all, Perry Village Administration saying yes when we asked if they would consider hosting us. And then two, Perry Rotary and Perry Firemen said yes when they were asked by our liaison, Jackie Billings, to come alongside us and present this event together. And without their expertise and skill and infrastructure, we would not have had such a successful show. So I want to publicly acknowledge all of what they brought to the table. It's a beautiful partnership that we had, and I can only see this partnership not just for the Letchworth Arts and Crafts Show, but for other opportunities to work together, becoming better. So I just really want to acknowledge their hard work, for the volunteers that they brought to the event. We had over 300 artists, volunteers, and a large portion of that was brought to us from those other entities, and then the public also who responded and wanted to volunteer, because again, this whole concept of the village coming together and standing behind a small nonprofit organization to make this opportunity and opportunity for us, experience for our artisans and our customers, the best it could be. And I also want to express gratitude to Jackie Billings as well for her leadership as the liaison for the three organizations.
They all helped make it a success.
Yes.
Well, we want to thank you for coming in to share your thoughts and memories of the 45th Annual Letchworth Arts and Crafts Show. Our guest is Jackie Swaby, who is the Executive Director of the Arts Council for Wyoming County. This is Letchworth Cable Access. We thank you for watching. I'm Kyle Adamczak, and on behalf of everybody here, we wish you a good night.